I was going to go ahead and lead off introducing my man, John Stroh. He's going to be taking care of most of the presentation here. John Stroh, he's just a little bit about John. I admire him as a true leader, that someone that leads from the front, and that I can actually admire and learn from in this business. He's been in network marketing a couple different times. It's had some success, but nothing like we're seeing with this opportunity he's about to share with you guys. A little bit more about John. He's been in technology field for about 30 years. A former CPA. Is very well versed in technology, and he knows a good thing when he sees it. John, I've heard him say before, was very skeptical when it comes to technology, as far as vetting things and making sure it's legitimate, and the technology's got a solid background and foundation. Also being a former CPA, he knows his numbers. He knows a good thing financially when he sees it. So, and trusting in him, we trust with John's recommendations and things of that nature. So, him and his wife, Anne Marie, they've been in the business 3 months now, and they qualified for a trip to Dubai as a diamond, maybe even double diamonds, I don't remember, for an all expense paid trip to Dubai for some of the top leaders, which was really awesome. It was so cool to see them out there and, just really see where this thing's going and what kind of company that we're representing here. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to John. Just excited to be on the call with you guys, and guys, enjoy.
Man, thanks, Billy. I appreciate that warm introduction, and welcome everybody, and congratulations. First of all, congratulations for having a great friend and someone who really cares about you in Mr. Billy Kegg. I mean, the fact that he has gotten you guys on a busy Thursday night to spend a couple minutes with us is amazing. He's working hard at this business and having a ton of success as well, and I'm just so excited to be able to share this opportunity with you guys in a way that will directly help Billy and each of y'all's families going forward. So this is something that we really weren't looking for as a couple. I'm going to share some slides just so that you guys can kind of follow along, and feel free to take notes, and we'll open it up for questions towards the end of the session here. We should only go about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll jump into some questions. So as I mentioned, I want to make sure, Bill, you guys see my presentation?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great. Let me make sure I can get it up. There we go. So as Billy said, I've been in technology 30 years. You can see by this picture, my wife has been in technology a lot less than me. But we dabbled in a few network marketing opportunities, as Billy said. But, when we saw this opportunity, we realized that we were at the right place at the right time. And that's what kept us in the past from being winners. So we've always thought of ourselves as winners who've never had a chance to win or have never won. That's until now, because we've never really been in the right place at the right time. When this opportunity posed itself, like I said, we weren't looking for anything. We were pretty comfortable with our corporate jobs and doing a part-time network marketing gig on the side. But we couldn't pass this up. When we realized it was technology right up our alley, we were sought out to launch this call. And what got me was a question that I was asked. And this one, I didn't even think I needed to see the video to confirm what I thought about this opportunity as soon as I saw this question. And some of you may have actually responded to this question as well and are here on this video webinar because of the same answer that I had, which is, if you knew that by the year 2020 there would be an emerging tech market worth $34 billion in revenue, and if you could have the number one product in that entire revenue space, would you want to know more about it? I mean, I think everybody on this call would, without a doubt, say absolutely, right? It didn't matter if this was a self-propelled vacuum cleaner or wearable technology that can save people's lives. If it's going to have that kind of growth, they're predicting over $20 billion in growth in the next 3 years. And we're going to have the number one product in that space. Yeah, absolutely. I think every one of us would want to see that and find out more information about it. So here's the interesting thing for me. And that is that it's not just our company that's talking about the growth of this opportunity. It's folks like Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Time Magazine, predicting that this industry is going to grow, like I said, over $20 billion in the next 3 years. They're going to end up selling nearly 300 million more devices than what they've sold to date. I mean, that kind of hyper growth is just outrageous. And what's even more important is the mere fact that we are the most popular of all the wearable technologies. The wristband, by far, is the most popular, even over the cameras, the watches, so on and so forth. So what does this mean? This means that we are completely and totally relevant in this opportunity. There's nothing else like it. There's no other technology product in network marketing. There's nothing else. We have no competition. Everybody says, well, don't you compete with Garmin and Fitbit and Apple Watch? And my answer to that is when they come up with a comp plan to pay people to refer that product, then we have competition. But until then, it's simply a word of mouth referral that nobody gets paid on, and we'll dominate that space every time. So the other thing that stuck out to us is how this is very, very unique, right? This is changing healthcare. It's also changing the technology space, and it's changing the network marketing space. That's 3 multi-billion-dollar industries that are being changed simultaneously. I call it the perfect storm, or the trifecta for those of you guys who are bettors and have placed a bet either legally or illegally, right? This is the trifecta. This is the combination of 3 transformational activities happening at one time. And if you just look at the individual things that this Helo does today, the blood pressure, the EKG, sleep quality, heart rate, steps, we do the steps and the calories and the distance, just like all the other fitness devices. But that's not our gig. That's not our focus, right? Our focus is literally being able to take advantage of and changing healthcare into self-care. And that's just not a statement. We're actually doing it. You can see with the app on the phone how you can take full control in that dashboard of all of your vital signs. You can even set up ranges of healthiness based on your doctor's advice and whether or not your blood pressure is too high or too low, or your heart rate is going off the charts or is going too low. You can monitor yourself with those healthy ranges. You can even do that with your aging parents, your kids. Again, what all this means is we're first to market, and nobody else is going to have this type of technology since of our partnerships. And talking about partnerships, that is what sets this company apart from anything else in network marketing. No other network marketing company can boast a partnership with a $50 billion company. I mean, come on, guys. $50 billion behind Toshiba's name. And they wouldn't associate and partner with just anybody, right? They vetted us for 90 days. And I'm telling you, if this company and this product was good enough for Toshiba's evaluation after a 90-day, look under the hood and make sure everything's legit. If we can pass their scrutiny, I'm pretty sure we can pass me, my friends, anybody else, any consumer scrutiny. So Toshiba's already asked all the questions. They've already asked, how does it work? They've already been shown. In fact, their technology is enabling much of what we do. But it's not just the Toshiba partnership, which by and large, is enough in my mind. It's also quality. Quality is a top 10 manufacturer in Asia Pacific. Their capacity to produce is second just behind Apple's and their iPhones, and their quality is just as high. And they can actually produce for us up to 3 million devices per month. So guys, we are in such a great shape with these partnerships that are going to absolutely set this thing on fire. But it's not only just about the corporations. Look at some of the people that our CEO, Fabio Galdi, who I'm proud to say I've met on numerous occasions. great guy, but he's bringing in folks like Antonio DeRosa, who is the designer of the iPhone 6, 7, and oh, by the way, he even designed the iPhone 8 that hadn't even been released yet, but it's already built. It's already been designed, and it was designed by this guy. We got him in you can see, April 2015. We stole him from Apple, and he's been designing this wearable device since he came over. He's our senior vice president of design and marketing. And guys, we have these types of folks. And oh, by the way, he's not just some fictitious character. I actually got the opportunity to meet him when we were down in corporate, when Fabio brought in some of the top leaders to have a 3-day summit on things that we needed to make sure this company was firing on all cylinders. So we got to meet him, and we're throwing up there's aren't gang signs, right? They're the W for world. But guys, this is unmatched partnership, unmatched technology, leaders, and folks that are just going to set us apart going forward. The other thing to focus on is this simple system. Every one of you are on the call who's already watched the video, who's already been reached out by Billy and shown that we can simply get paid for sharing a video, get paid for sending text messages or picking up the phone and having a conversation with folks. And the way we do that is we get started, we get enrolled, we send out the videos, we have a marketing site that can automate much of that, and then we simply follow up. Get somebody on a call like this after they've seen the videos and spend some time. We also have 3 times a day, we have webinars for more information for folks to get. Guys, it does not get any simpler than this. I'm telling you, I've been through a couple of other network marketing companies, and their systems are a lot harder. One of them, I had to have a bottle of night cream. I had to send it out to somebody for 7 days. I had to then drive over, pick it up, ask them what they thought, see if they had any results, take a before and after picture, and pray, hope that they saw enough to want to sign up. This one, it's just so easy. It's technology backed by Toshiba. It works. We just show people what it does and decide, do you want to come in by only buying one for yourself, or you want to buy one for your entire family and run at this thing fast? So guys, what's most important about this simple system is it's duplicatable. And I'm not sure that's a word, but I'm going to use it anyway. You're able to duplicate this business very, very quickly. This is not something that it takes a month to study. It's not something that you have to go, build a library or read through a book on how to. This is literally, if you guys were to sign up tonight, we could actually have you productive and recruiting by the first thing tomorrow morning. It's just that simple and able to be duplicated. And that's what's important, because when you come in and you bring somebody on your left and right, and they continue to bring 2 people in, the power of 2s explodes. I mean, this thing just it grows so quickly. Lastly, I want to tell you, we've got, let's see, I think we had over 24 people on this call, and I would gladly call every one of you friends. And the people I've met in this business, I'm telling you, some of the best people I've ever met in my life. But I didn't get into this business to make more friends. I got in this business to make an alternative stream of income for not only help my family, but generations to come in my family. And this compensation plan is unlike anything else I've ever seen. It is so easy to make money. I can't even describe it, guys. This thing is awesome. There's 4 ways to get paid in this compensation plan. The first one, and the most easiest one to think about, is anytime someone goes to your website, you get paid a one-time bonus or referral commission at 10% of whatever they spend. There are things out there on your website that cost $10, right? The little charger in the back of the device. If they lose it and they got to buy a new one, you earn $1. You get 10% of that $10 charge. If they go out there and they buy a family pack and they spend $1,350, you make $135. If they go out and buy the premium pack and the BioZen, a product that allows you to reduce the effects of electronic radiation that comes from battery operated devices, and they spend a couple $1,000, you're making a couple $100 off of that purchase. So anything someone goes out to your website, which by the way, you get for free, you don't have to maintain it, you don't have to pay any premiums on it, you don't have to pay a hosting charge, none of that. Company gives you a full Amazon.com like website with a shopping cart and the ability to pay out on credit cards. None of that. We don't even charge you the 3% fee for the credit card. That's all taken care of by the company. You get an entire e-commerce site, and anything anybody buys off that site, you make 10%. The second way is you build a team. You share this opportunity just as Billy has done with as many people as you can, and you make commissions off of the entire volume that entire team rolls up. Guys, this is where the power of duplication and a multi-level marketing company just is second to none. It's why the industry has made more millionaires than any other industry in the world. It's why it's also the most productive, the most efficient form of marketing is word of mouth. Guys like Richard Branson and even Donald Trump, President Donald Trump now, have said on multiple occasions, every product that launches, every new product in this world should go through a network marketing distribution channel. It's the most efficient. It's because companies pay big commissions on the success of that marketing effort instead of wasting money like they did a few days ago on $5 million for 30-second spot on the Super Bowl, and only a fraction of the people that even see the commercial, other than it was interesting and fun to watch, are actually going to go out and buy that product. So you build your team, you get up to 20% of the volume that's created in either your left or your right leg, depending on which one is lesser. And then the third way is you share in the company's revenue, right? When you help other people in the company make money, when you help your downline, when you help people that you've sponsored grow their business and make money, you get a check match. You get to share in the revenue that they're making and the income that they're making, and you get 10% of their paychecks. And it's on a declining scale. It's a generational model, but the bottom line is we're all motivated to help each other make money, not just looking out for ourselves. We're looking out for folks that are coming into our business and making sure they're going to have success. And then the last way is a lifestyle bonus. We have a loyalty program. That loyalty program generates an extra 1%. That at the end of the year, it's kind of like an end of year bonus. If you stay on the loyalty program, you get an extra 1% on that same volume that you made in number two, and you get a bonus of 1%. That could accumulate to hundreds, maybe even thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in that fourth way. So guys, needless to say, this is the most lucrative comp plan I've ever seen. And it's most simple. I mean, it's just simple 4 ways, and it's absolutely creating unbelievable amounts of income for folks who've jumped into this opportunity. So this is my last slide. It's all about timing. All right, Jeff Moore wrote a book called Inside the Tornado. And the tornado occurs after the innovators and early adopters have really vetted a product through its life cycle. And then this tornado effect occurs, and there is hyper growth in the adoption. It literally is this takeoff. But right now we're stuck very, very early. Thank goodness that you guys saw this opportunity and jumped in to take another hard look at it in the launch phase. We're very, very early in this adoption. We still have a tremendous amount of growth for this product lifecycle before it actually gets into the late majority or even the laggards. But look at all the percentages. There's still 50% of the revenue that happens after that whole hyper growth phase occurs. So the bottom line is, get in before the tornado and ride that sucker out. This is going to be a wild and fun ride, and people are going to make a tremendous amount of money with a product that literally will save people's lives. There's no way an Apple Watch, a Garmin, or a Fitbit can sit there and tell you that device saves someone's life. But we've already had examples of people who have gotten irregular readings of vital signs, went to their doctor to check it out, and sure enough, there was something underlying that was causing those vital signs to be off. They got it treated before it became a problem. So guys, that's it. That's the presentation for tonight. Hopefully it made a ton of sense. What I'd like to do, if you have a question, feel free to take yourself off of mute. I do have a couple questions that have already popped into this presentation. Let's see. Looks like we were just having some folks that couldn't hear, but I think that was just an individual problem. So what questions are out there, guys? Let me jump back to where I can see everybody's pretty faces.
What would be the quickest way to get started?
Man, that's a great question. The quickest way to get started, obviously, when we looked at that simple system, is to come in, and we have an entire get started right game plan that we customize for every person that gets started in this business. You know, the bottom line is this business has to fit into your life, not the other way around. You guys, if you have 10 minutes a day, or if you have 10 hours a day, because for whatever reason, you got a lot of time on your hands, we'll build the plan that fits into your life that'll let you run at the pace that you want to run at. That may be a walk, that may be a jog, that may be a run. But my wife always talks about, if we treated everybody the same way and we ran at you, you may run, you just might run the other way. So what we do is we build a plan that fits your style, that fits your income goals, that fits the pace that you want to run at this business. And we literally just say, do you want to go fast or you want to go steady? Because there is no such thing as crawling or walking. This thing's going to happen whether you work it hard or work it steady. It's going to happen all around you because we're on the ground floor. So great literally, I think I mentioned this earlier. We could have you up and running tonight if you guys were so inclined to want to go ahead and jump in and get started on this. What other questions, guys? Don't be shy.
All I can say is great presentation.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
I kind of have a question about when you get people underneath you, is there a way to maximize depending on how you set up underneath you? Whether it's like teams or whether it's just if you sell one individually versus the 5-pack. I mean, is there a better way to kind of structure it? Like, I know some people that I think would be interested and that I think would be really good at, being underneath me, but it's like, is there an order to put them in, to invite them first, so to speak?
That's a great question because what we found is there's really no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong way about going about this business. The only thing that is a mistake is if you go at it slower than what you want, or if you do nothing with it once you get in. There are some strategies as far as placement, but right now when you get started, really all you're looking to do is bring somebody on your left, bring somebody on your right, rank advance to that first level to earn the commission, the volume commission for the rest of your life, right? The one thing I didn't mention is once you earn a level, you never go backwards. We never take volume away from you. We never, reduce your rank. You earn a rank, you keep it for life. And that's so unique. So many other network marketing companies use volume and advancement as a motivator and a demotivator, right? When you slow down a little bit, when you take a week off or you don't work it as hard for a period of time, they actually penalize you by taking away some of the success that you've had, not in this company. Once you earn it, you keep it for life. So the bottom line is you want to go ahead and build equally, right? If you build both sides, you're only building in a binary on the left and the right. You only have two sides of an organization. So it's very, very simple. And the best strategy is to build that equally on both sides. That will maximize your commissions, where you never have one leg getting really big and the other one kind of lagging behind that you're getting paid off of. And you have this unbalance, right? So if both of those legs are at the same level, you're maximizing that weekly payout and you're utilizing every bit of the volume that you create. So great question. And we take you through a lot of that once we get you into what's called a team developer, that third level, where you've had success and you can represent the fact that you've made, $600, $700, $800 already. You're getting close to being in the black, or maybe you're in the black already. Now you've made enough commissions that this thing's paying for itself and replicating. That's when we go back in and we start to hone some of the skills. But for the first couple of weeks, we want you guys just heads down, getting this in front of people and making sure you rank advance as quickly as you can so that you get that first check and you have that success that then builds that confidence and keeps on duplicating from there. Great questions. Anybody else? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it down if there's no other questions. So do us all. Oh, is there another question?
Yeah, one more question. Is there a benefit to buying the one, starting with just the one versus the five? I was reading that there's two different packages, I guess.
Right.
Is the 5-pack a better commission over time? Is that what I understood it to be?
It is a better commission over time. It also gets you started that much faster. And today, if you order the 5-pack, you actually are shipped a 6th for free of the classic version of the product. So not only are you getting 1 for free, when you pay for 4, you get a 5th for free. You also get a 6th device, so you get 2 for free, 1 in the classic style, and then you'll get 1 free one in the LX style when it ships in March. So that's really key, that you get basically over $600 worth of free devices if you buy what's called the family pack. Plus, obviously, if you got more than one person in your family, you got your parents, maybe both sides if you're married. There's plenty of folks that you can put this device on, or even have them reimburse you to buy one from you to help offset that cost of the pack. And what that basically does is it gives you an accelerated earning opportunity, right? Because if you come in at the individual pack, you're only getting $100 or 100 points worth of volume, versus when you come in at the family pack, you're allocated 500 points of volume. So there's a 5x opportunity for growth. There's 5 times the volume when everybody comes in at that family pack. So we recommend the family pack for those that can afford it. If for some reason you can't, guys, don't let that be a deterrent. Come in, get started, no matter how many devices you can afford, because you will absolutely be upset with yourself when you see your friends having the success that they're going to have with this opportunity, and you let it pass by. I'll be the first to tell you we did that 12 years ago, and I'll never do that again. Okay, guys, so what's important? Billy's got just a few spots at the top of his organization left. He's rapidly building that out. So it's important that you guys get back to him tonight. Let him know if you want to come in at the single device, if you want to come in at the family pack. If this, for some reason, if this isn't the right time, we understand. But I'll tell you what, guys, find it in your heart, find it in your way to get started with us, and let's run at this thing together. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're all going to make a lot of money. We're going to change people's lives. And we just hope you're going to be there on this wild, crazy ride with us. So, Billy, you want to close us down?
Yeah. I just wanted to add, get with the person that invited you. Not everybody I talked to on this call, I personally invited. So get with the person on our team that invited you, and let's lock arms and take a run at this thing, because we're super excited. If you guys have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to message me or Rodney, Scott, Corey, whoever invited you.
Are y'all able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, AJ.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, go ahead.
John, I had a question.
Sure thing.
So once we get somebody interested, what is the recommendation you have on closing the deal? Sometimes maybe we have a few people that maybe say they don't have the money at the time, or different things like that we're running into. How do you recommend closing the deal once they're interested?
It's to me, it's less about closing, and it's more about, do they see the opportunity, and do they have the financial ability to get started with it, right? If they see it and it's just not the right time financially, the best thing to do is to work with them to stay on your short list of folks that as soon as they get their tax refund check, or as soon as they get that bonus that's coming in, or whatever it is that they can save up for to come in and get started, we want to make sure they take advantage of that, and that they don't just put this on the back burner forget about it, and then, you know, weeks or months later, look back and say, man, I wish I would have gotten started faster than I did. You know, because there's no magic really. There's no magic formula on what it's going to take for somebody to make a decision. We hope that at this point, everybody that's seen the videos, participated and watched the 18-minute webinar that's online, and then participated in this call, have enough information to make that informed decision. So that's what we're really doing tonight, is collecting decisions, collecting yeses. Hopefully there's not going to be too many no's, but, you know, getting to that decision point so that we can make sure everybody looks at this and says, hey man, I had my opportunity, I understand it, and I can now make an informed decision to go forward.
Okay, yeah, because it pretty much does sell itself. Just the 2 first videos sold it for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I may have been sold after the first. I'm just like you though, man. Once I saw it and went, wow, it does all those things. Yeah. And Toshiba's behind it.
I have a question about that. The blood glucose and the alcohol, blood alcohol, that's not available yet, right?
Correct. That's going to
available?
be, the blood glucose, we've already announced that's going to be released towards the end of this calendar year. The alcohol is not on the release schedule yet. It's on the release schedule, but it's not been announced exactly when it's going to be released. But those are definitely 2 that we have already designed into our future devices.
Right.
And then, so when they become available and you have the device, it's just, is there an update, or how do you go about getting those features?
It's a little bit of both. It's kind of like, you know, I was telling somebody last night, if you're a customer and you're only concerned about and not really working the business, the answer that you want to hear is, well, it's just going to be an update. It's going to be for free, and you won't have to pay anything more for it. Well, that's certainly not Fitbit, Apple, or any other company's program, is to buy a single device once and then never pay them another $1. I don't know how many iPhones I've gone through. If you're in the business, you want to hear that answer, you know, that it'll be a new device because it's going to generate more income. It's going to be more opportunity for me to create volume. The nice thing is this company is kind of right there in the middle. We have a ton of stuff. The blood glucose will actually be an update to the device that's currently either the Classic or the LX. So it's a firmware update that we can go through what's called a plug-in in the app itself. Some of the other things, like the viscosity of our blood, which will be an indicator for cholesterol levels, may involve another sensor that this current sensor would not be able to be powerful enough to look at that. So there will be future functionality that will require a new device, but that's only if you want to uptake that enhanced functionality, right? This is always going to do everything that it does today, and anything that we can deliver through the firmware plug-in, they will do. And then additional stuff that may require a hardware upgrade would then, you know, be an option for somebody to upgrade to the later device. What's great about the loyalty program is if you pay the loyalty each month, you earn enough points to be able to get a free device every year. And they actually give you enough loyalty points to not only get a free helo, but you can also either get multiple helos or a cell phone. So it doesn't even require you know, that purchase if you've accumulated enough points and you just want to wait until your year anniversary to buy that enhanced device.
Okay. And the loyalty program is the $59 a month?
That's correct. Yeah, basically it's $59 a month. You're given, I think it's $70 worth of value for the purchase a month in return. So it's like 130% cash back return on the spend of that money that then gets accumulated as end of the year points and redeemed for other products. You also get a lost, broken, or stolen protection plan. I could already tell you in the first 3 months, I jumped in a pool with mine and forgot I had it on. Sure enough, it shorted it out. It's not waterproof, it's water resistant. So I had to call up and say, hey guys, sending mine back. Can you send me another one? And it just showed up 3-4 days ago. So yeah, that lost, broken, or stolen is an amazing option, because I would have been out $300 right there if I didn't have that. It's got a whole bunch of other benefits. We cover that in the webinar, and if you guys need it, we can certainly share the detailed slides on what all is in the loyalty program.
I got a couple of questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So what do you find the most effective way to get people signed up? Is it through Craigslist advertising? Is it through handing out business cards with your website? Is it just demonstrating the device one-on-one in person? Is it like, what would you say is the best and most effective way, and that's the most time-efficient way to build your business?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'll tell you, they call this relationship marketing for a reason, right? I think if you send out hundreds and hundreds of emails and Craigslist and other types of very arm's length messages, you're going to get a very low conversion rate, although you'll create a ton of interest. If you haven't established that relationship with that person, chances are they're not going to buy from you. So relationship marketing can work very effectively through an arm's length, through a virtual channel like Facebook, like Craigslist. But what you have to do is convert the initial interest that you create, the initial response of, hey, can you give me more? Or, yes, I have a minute to converse through a text or to pick up the phone and have a conversation. You have to convert that initial interaction to something more meaningful, something that can establish a connection with that person. The other thing a lot of us make a mistake on is sending out the video blind, right? Hey, take a look at this video, and then you never hear back from the person. Well, chances are they didn't even look at the video, right? They were walking into a movie, they were going, into a restaurant, they were fixing to start their kid's soccer game. Sometime, it's almost like when the phone rings here at the house and it's right before dinner. Last thing we're going to do is stop dinner and go pick up the telemarketer phone call. So if you don't hit the person up when they have a minute to actually look at the video, chances are they're not going to. So a lot of what we're teaching is making sure that we're intentional. We're intentional with the reach out and getting, you can blanket Facebook and see who likes a post or responds to it. But as soon as they do, you got to get into a conversation. And that conversation has to be meaningful, where you're actually saying, hey, if I send you something, do you have time to look at it? No, not for a couple of hours? Okay, tell you what, I'm not going to send it and have it sit there. I'm going to go ahead and send it to you at 9:30 when you tell me you have a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to call you at 9:35 because it's a 2-minute video, and I'm going to see what you think about it. So it gets into that, you're building this relationship, you're having a dialogue, you're being intentional. That's where you get the responses. And again, none of us are really all that concerned about yeses, because the yeses are going to come the more people we talk to. We just want to get to a decision. We want to get an answer. It's great when you have a lot of yeses. That means you're doing it right and the product's working and everything's clicking on all cylinders. But the more no's you get, the more you can actually know that you're branching out into areas that weren't layups, you're stretching your network into people that you may have predetermined wouldn't get into the business, but you asked them anyway. And man, those are the ones that really are fun to come across when you're like, what? You actually really do? Like what we just said? All right, let's keep on going. Let me get you on the phone with somebody. And then last thing is just third-party credibility, third-party resources, the videos, calls like this. Y'all don't have to be product experts. In fact, none of us are product experts. We're just trying to share a vision and share a comp plan and share a product that we think is unlike anything else in the market.
If you can actually get in front of people, is it recommended to have some kind of a presentation book that you can go through, or do you feel like the videos would take care of that?
The presentation book is something that has worked for other companies. We don't see a whole lot of it. I do, however, have a couple of one-pagers front back that I take around with me when I'm going to go meet with somebody, because I want to be able to at least show some type of a visual, have them connect with something, not just, conceptually. It's why we show a couple of slides in this presentation to be able to, connect not only through the words, but through the site, because we retain a lot more that we see than what we hear. So yeah, I think if there's anything that strikes maybe even these 5 slides would be a great something to take along for a conversation. And I'm kind of old school. I love belly to belly, face to face conversations, meet for a cup of coffee. I mean, to me, that's kind of the old school network marketing. This company has made a tremendous amount of success, or had a tremendous, just in virtual, right? And the nice thing is, in 195 countries, we're going to have to be quite virtual when we're talking to somebody in a foreign country or even in another state. But for those times which you can go face to face, to me, there's nothing like it, but it absolutely is not a requirement.
Yeah, you know what? This health wearables comparison is amazing. This sheet, it gives every single health and fitness feature and benefit.
Yep.
And it's amazing compared to all of the others on the market. This is like providing 3 times more. This is a very good tool. But I have just one more question.
Sure.
I noticed that this is targeting, your heart rate, your steps, your calories. It's allowing you to help improve your sleep with the germanium crystals. It monitors fatigue, breath rate, blood pressure, on and on. Is there any future plan to incorporate this into like a pain relieving modality, like a mini TENS unit that you could plug electrodes into the device and it becomes like a TENS unit with electrodes? Because pain is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Right.
That they would. Because that's. I'm just kind of curious. Is that?
Yeah,
where they would go?
I have not heard of anything where they're looking at pain management as an alternative. I even heard a question last night where the guy said, is there anything that we can anticipate that would administer, not, taking just readings, but maybe actually administering, some type of drug or, prescription through the device? And I was like, man, that's really stretching. How would you load, how would you load that device with the medicine, But hey, what's so great is I can say that there's no plans today, but man, this technology is exploding. It's changing faster. I mean, they're talking about literally when the device is fully Internet of Things enabled, meaning it has the ability to receive and send signals through cellular service to the device itself, and you basically untether it to the smartphone. That's when things are going to be crazy. We're going to be able to replace the cell phone. We'll get phone calls to our wearable. Literally, they're talking about putting your finger to your ear, the back of your ear bone, and being able to hear the conversation and talk and have the person be able to hear you. I mean, some of the technology they're talking about, I can only imagine where we're going to be. My wife calls it, Back to the Future, or Star Trek is actually going to be coming true here in about 5 years or less. So there's no telling what we're going to be able to expand to.
Okay, well. Thanks a lot, Billy. Thank you.
You're welcome, Russ. Was that all the questions?
All right, guys. Well, I had an hour on my calendar, so you've given me 14 minutes back. I'm going to go use those by dropping a few more messages out and following up with some calls that I've gotten while we've been on. So thanks so much for your time. And again, congratulations. I really hope you guys will seriously consider this and get back to the person who invited you to the call. And let's get started on, changing your life with this product and this opportunity.
Thanks, John. I appreciate you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Everybody have a great night.
Bye now.
Bye.